but it's gonna be a while before I can grow enough horses unless I get a rancher. Let's not bother equipping anything on them quite yet, I think. Sitting Bull wants a defensive pact. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that, although he's just to the northwest. I don't think anybody's going to attack him. It could just dissuade anybody from attacking us, sure. We found a slave overseer down here in the south, so we will slowly walk him towards the north and hope that he can get a ride one day. Looking at my lands, a pioneer would be nice to build a mine on the mineral resources, as well as a ranch on the horses. But is there something that's more important, such as settling the squash? No, we really need soldiers pretty soon, so I need to probably save my money. Militia are 848. Yeah, we're not going to do that right now. Soon though, once we have that galleon. We should be getting offered the galleon on the next turn, most likely. We have the event. There are other people here. This is related to meeting plenty of other natives, I think. And then we have the event using the whip that refers to the overseer. And here we are, we're being offered a galleon for 2,000 gold. That gives us a free galleon immediately in the colonies. And relations with our king are improved by 1. Now that's great, but it is kind of true that we don't have a huge amount of money in the form of treasure, because for some reason we just have not been getting lucky at all. So the galleon is going to be doing a bit more work. It's going to take the first treasure right here probably about 5 turns to be able to get onto the galleon. So I think I'm actually going to send the freaking galleon to Europe and back in about that amount of time. And of course we will send some coffee berries and some furs, but nothing else at the moment. Again, only 170 gold. That's pretty bad. I'm pretty sure I'm thinking about it correctly in terms of speed as well, because I'm dividing things or multiplying by things in my head. We got a ranger out of that campfire, that's pretty cool. Of course it's going to take forever to get them back home, unless I send a ship out to get them, which is what I'll probably have to do now that I think about it. I feel like the economic development is going to be completely different with this version of movement. Oh, we had the galleon thing come up, my bad. The Russian, our Tsar, is asking for money for the starving children back home. Oh wait, not the starving children back home, to reinforce the palace guards. Sure, bro. We have +6 relations with the Tsar, wow. Hopefully he won't bother us too much then. Oh my goodness, I did have a treasure in here that I could have sent on the galleon already. It would have been something sooner. Ouch. Oh well. It is what it is. We found a map, and on the map, to the east over here is the English. So our closest competitor is the English, and they are quite far away from us, as you can see right there. I'm betting they haven't been doing any scouting yet, have they? Alright boys, get off my ship. Unfortunately, I don't have a defender here yet. So adding anybody to Red Fox would risk making the city start revolting from time to time. I could send one of them down to Boggy Bay, then have them go back and forth doing like lumber. Or I could just send lumber and one of them to Boggy Bay. I believe that does make some sense. So let's send the powder maker, and then we should be net positive on wood. We are. We'll send some wood as well. And we'll send them down to Boggy Bay to get some stuff built. We have 1,695 gold. Let's look around. Well, let's actually ask our... Well crap, we need defenders, that's right. That's what we had to buy next. I do have a galleon coming in, so I can buy the equipment that I need there. I also have an emigrant that is almost done. So I could pick one of these dudes. I'll pick the indentured servant, give him some guns right now, and another indentured servant. Ooh, I'm very inclined to pick him, but not quite yet. Let's let him get a little bit cheaper. We have arrived. Let's offload our goods. Let's hire our indentured servant, and let's make him a militia. We cannot bring them home just yet, but we've got what we need, and the money that we have in them is not a risk. The king can't just take their guns back. We're not going to buy anything domestically here, or for sale domestically. We also don't have any use for, like, tolls at the moment, other than doing pioneers and such. We have met George Washington. There shall be peace in our time, sir. Let's see if he wants to. He does do open borders. He does only have 2 settlements. That's nice to see. And he's behind us in terms of points, but that might just be a founding father thing. Alright, the master powder maker is in place and the health is not dropping. So we can use this dude to build the medical office that we need. I'm going to send the caravel back to pick up our priest, our missionary there. The roper is just going to have to stand guard and chill out. I am, however, considering whether or not I should keep him around. So you make rope from, pretty sure it is flax or hemp. Yeah, flax or hemp. We have access to flax up here in the taiga, but that means that we would have to settle up there first. And we are going to. The other option is hemp. Now hemp can be found in these grasslands over here, if we wanted to make plantations. So we do have that option, so we can move further west. Well, actually he'd have to stay here somewhere in the colony and work at the dock, that's right. Because the thing is, we don't really have... I don't want to chop down these thickets right now, or maybe I do one day. We don't really have a direct supply of hemp or flax, so I'm not sure what to do with him in the meantime. But I think I don't want to get rid of him. He's pretty valuable. I just wish he could join the city, sir. It's too bad. We are indeed not alone in a foreign land. Tavern is done in Red Fox. What we're going to work on next needs to be the storage house. We're going to need storage space. After that, I'm thinking maybe a dock. Yeah, let's do a dock. And then we'll go from there after that. Alright, so this caravel is going to go back to Boggy Bay quite fast. Pick up some of that extra silver after we had the missionary jump on board. That missionary, I'm going to drop him off in Ashi Nadia over here. And then we'll head to Europe to go pick up the soldiers. Now that we have open borders with the English, let's go have a chat with Atakani and see if they've had their... Guess I'll have to wait until next turn. See if the English have spoken to them yet. I'd be pretty amazed if they haven't. Village hall done in Boggy Bay. Next up must be the medical office. Alright, let's establish that mission in Ashi Nadia. And with that guy off our ship, we can buy some furs off these dudes. Don't mind if I do. Actually, 100, I can turn that into 500 gold, so that's a 400 gold profit. If I do coffee, I'm gonna pay about 1.3 gold to make 4. Yeah, it's not worth it. Let's do the furs. Hey, what a surprise. The English have not talked to the village. We got some experience. They want to do colored cloth, and they can teach sugar planting. Washington is actually ahead of us now in terms of points. Oh, they have gems. Ooh. They're so far away from us though. We're gonna destroy this hostile native village with this buccaneer if we can do that, unless we withdraw. Risk losing that dude because of the event that comes from popping a goody hut. And we got a brave lieutenant, so we got this little story. Now this guy is gonna be attached to the native mercenary. I think that is the strongest play that we can make. Alright, and Mr. Native Mercenary, if you would not mind, I think I want Ranger. Yeah, looking around, I see a whole lot of forest. So I think Ranger is going to be the way to go with this guy. Ranger 1 and Ranger 2, so they can now double move through forest. That means that he cannot move, he probably can't move like 2 tiles, but he can move 1 tile every turn pretty consistently. Unlike before, where he'd get stuck, basically. Now we're going to grab these treasures right here. Get on my ship. And then we can compress them down and then load them back up onto the ship. And we can throw some coffee berries or furs. Let's throw some furs on top. Ew, and some coffee berries, of course, right? We have plenty of storage space on a galleon. And send that galleon on its way. I need to go have a look at this island over here real quick, actually. I need to see where we might want to settle. So I'll do that before I head off to Europe with that caravel. Hey, we got our first converted native from Kaposia. And we also have Gunsmoke for winning that battle. And here is the story. We now pay 2% instead of 0% taxes. To oppose this increase, we would have to destroy all fur in protest. And then to trade again in it, we might have to pay we would have to pay a fine. I'm not sure if you can lift a boycott only with a founding father, or if in We The People we can always lift a boycott, but I'm not going to find out right now. He's offering us some slaves. I'm not going to do that. It'd be cheaper to go buy them ourselves. Although they are very, very cheap right here. We could get a lot of food from that fish tower that we're not working. I think we take them actually. That's only a slight premium because in Africa they should only be, yeah, 150. So now I can generate a boatload of food from the fish. Wait, do they not do that much more fish than usual? No, they do more than usual. Oh wait, we don't have a defender here yet, that's right. I need to pull him out before I lose progress. That's too bad. We're up to Forced March 1 for our southeastern scout hut that is now checking out the English and seeing how they've got everything set up. Now this Buccaneer, I'm also going to make him a ranger primarily. And he'll get ranger too already, wonderful. Very, very wonderful. This converted native could be taught sugar planting, but I would rather do coffee instead. There is expert coffee planting down here that I could send him to be taught for, but it's going to be a little bit of time until we have access to Savannah, unless we want to chop down the forest right here. I have a bit of an idea, maybe we can make him into a scout. I think that is a reasonable choice to make. Oh hey, we found an indentured servant. Oh no, we didn't. We had full cargo hold. That was an actual shipwreck. If we had space in our cargo hold, we could have gotten an indentured servant. Oh, that's too bad. We got really unlucky with our native villages because all we have is expert hunters in the north, for the most part, as well as like sugar planter, coffee planter. Like those aren't bad. Miner's not bad, but there's no fisherman, there's no farmer, there's only hunters. I do have my fingers crossed for this island right here though. Maybe we'll get something good. Especially with the wheat right here, that might be an expert farmer village. We're gonna talk to the chief right here, and then we're gonna notice that there is a Portuguese seasoned scout. And this guy has up to Forced March 1. He did grab Skirmisher, unless that was given to him by a founding father. Let's go say hello. Surely he could see us. I am now going to save up for another ship. I definitely need another ship that can actually carry passengers. Ooh, a seasoned scout I can just buy. I'm going to wait for a moment. We paid the king not that long ago. He probably won't ask us for money, but the church always could. Or any number of people really. Alright, let's sell off a bunch of stuff that we don't need. And then we're going to get a passenger ship. You know what? Let's ask the king if he knows anything. Ah, hello there, Portugal. You would also like to open borders, and you only have 2 settlements. That's amazing. I'm really impressed. The Huron want to offer us a native slave for 280 gold. We do have an overseer, but we're not focused on using slaves. And slaves do generate unhappiness, of course. They generate like 1 unhappy face for each one. Whereas population, it's like 1 for every 2 or 3 population is an unhappy face. I think it's every 2. But this guy would probably be a lot better at being a fisherman. I'll take him. 280 gold, that's not that bad. Let's see, I bet he would be... Nope, he makes just as much as a regular native slave. I mean, the regular slave. Oh well. As soon as they can get to work, I will get them to work. Mr. King, would you happen to have a used ship? A flute for 1300 gold. I'm not interested in a flute. I'm looking for something bigger and more capable, but that can still enter shallow coast. So that's going to be my favorite merchantman. If only we had the money to get a pearl diver, but we couldn't use him immediately, could we? They are 1,000 at the moment. Alright, so Seasoned Scout, get onto my ship, and then everybody else also gets onto the merchantman. Do you know the merchantman? Alright, the Portuguese Scout is in a good position for us to snap up all these treasures right here. And then if he goes northeast into the English, we'll have already checked out most of this land, meaning that we can sneak in behind him and check out the land down here. That's my hope. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's the hope. We do have 1,000 gold on hand, but I think that might be a reasonable amount of gold to keep now. Let's take a quick look at this island here, now that we have some more intelligence about it. I think the most colonies that I can fit on this island, no matter what, is 2. So we're going to probably work off that. Alright, let's see. If we were to build, say, right here, we would actually be able to reach the tuna eventually, and normally you can't reach tuna. But that gives 4 food. If we get that with a dock, that would be 7 food, and a fisherman would be even more on top of that. So this is a good site to settle down. And then we have over here in the west, I have to pick probably the location right here. I could also do right here actually and still have access to, I think, all the same goods. It's just a question of whether I want to settle on the plains or on the savannah. You know, settling down one might be the better move long term in terms of access to resources, like south of Nuta. But I want those pearls. If we settle the corner right here, we have to buy less crow land. If we settle like horizontally or vertically adjacent, we have to buy at least 5 tiles. If we settle on a corner, I think we have to buy 2, maybe 3 if we include the tile that we actually build the city. I think that's a good arrangement for now, unless we get some more intel about what's up here. If necessary, I could move the settlement site up 1 northwest. Oh, there's a big pearl reef right here. Let's mark that out. I'd really like to be able to make use of this turkey, so I'd really prefer to be able to settle right here. But to settle right there, I have to move my settlement right here, which I could do. I could move it over 1. That does mean that we have access to the fish and the foxes later on, but we still get them eventually. And having access to the river is not a bad thing. Like, the river cancels out the unhealthy terrain. We'll still have +2 from coastal. But the river also allows us to build some really advanced buildings at the very late game. The only reason I didn't build on the river in Boggy Bay was because this is shallow coast, and because of the clams as well. We've been challenged to acquire 2 slave barks. There's actually a pretty good reward for doing that, so I might be incentivized to consider that. The thing about slave barks though is that they can only carry goods or slaves. I would be investing 6,000 gold, but I think I'd get something like 2 hardy pioneers and something else. Right now hardy pioneers are 1,500 gold. It's probably not worth it. I'm gonna play this turn out and see how much money we have on hand before deciding what we want to get in Europe. Now it does look like this Portuguese scout went into the village right here, so they're probably going to go northeast. We've already cleared that, so we're in the clear to go around them. I'm going to check out a little bit more right around here, and I'm going to swing west to kind of clear this area and then come back this direction. My worry is that if I go farther south, maybe it'll have already been explored by the Portuguese. We're so close to having that defender. Just one more turn, man. Come on. Alright, so we got about... I think we can work with most of the gold that we have on hand, although we should really keep 1,000 ready. What is the founding father that makes it cheaper for us to buy their land? It's Peter Minuit. He already got taken, unfortunately. That is too bad. What I really want to do is grab this village down here for the really strong pearls resource. That'll generate us a lot of money. And I'm gonna need money on hand in order to pay for the land, of course. So I think what we do here is we specifically hire a pearl diver and we get them equipped with some settler gear. This probably won't be enough money. We'll have to make some more money along the way and then send this dude on his way. So I just invested like 1,600 gold to start mining these gems. These guys always produce +4 gems on the water. So that should be like, with the help, well, not with the help bonus, let's just say 7 gems per turn. That's 161 gold per turn. That means that it pays for itself in probably 10 turns. Somewhere around there. We have 1,000 goods traded, and this is the story, should you like to read it. No, man, the royal court wants our native. Doing this would give us 100 gold. We'd lose the native and we'd gain some more relations with our king. I think we have to do it. I would prefer to keep the native, but it's okay. And finally, we have that defender. Alright, oh boy, we can finally do some fishing and some more fishing. In addition to that, I think I'd like to do some more carpentry with my roper man. I'm thinking after this dock, maybe we build a stable. Alternatively, we could build a church, increase our cross production. But I think a stable might be the way to go. We'll probably get an expert rancher here in not too long. Yeah, I think that is a good idea. Let's go with the stable. We'll of course do that after the dock, my bad, not before. Oh, I just moved my merchantman towards the primary colonies when I probably should have moved him towards the east to drop off the season scout to check these villages real quick. But we will live with it as it is. Since that is what it is, I'll just go ahead and get one militia off right here. I will not get the second militia off immediately though. Sailmaker though can get off my boat. And then the merchantman is going to go towards the east, towards the island. Galleon is actually going to be useful and pick up a treasure that needs some help. I finally found an expert farmer village. It's way over here in the west. It's going to take this treasure 30 turns to walk all the way back. Alright, seems our plan has worked. We have plenty of goodies in the southeast to take advantage of. That Portuguese scout will not get nearly as much gold for his king and his colonies as he wished to. We've been challenged to build 5 harbors, or 5 docks anyway. We'll do that naturally at some point unless we get beat. Oh, well, one of the other colonies got 2 slave barks before we did. I think that was a terrible choice. So here's an interesting little movement conundrum. If I move with the treasure right now, this terrain costs 4 movement points, so that's going to keep him inactive for 3 turns. The alternative is I wait and hitch a ride on the galleon on the next turn. I'm definitely going to hitch a ride on the galleon on the next turn. I like that there's more thought involved with all this now. This master sailmaker, let's have you do something useful, sir. Let's have you make some Liberty Bells. I trust a dock worker to make a good speech, although you're not really a dock worker. So I think I know where the Portuguese are located. They have some treasures heading to the east. That means that pretty soon, oh, here's the Spanish right here, I think. We should be seeing them. I was talking about, well, I'll explore these villages right here, and then I'll probably head back towards the west. These guys are too far away for us to really interfere with them. Our caravel got a promotion from something. We'll give him Sea Explorer for double movement in favorable wind. And then this man is going to get sent down to this location right here. And thankfully nothing was in the way. And we got our second treasure from our second trading post. Well, not our second one from the second one, but you know, our second in general, etc. Oh, the treasures are actually big enough now that they need more than one. Nice. Now that I dropped that settler off to establish the really big pearl colony, my caravel is going to do a little bit of exploration before he swings back around home. Having a seasoned scout ride on a ship is a pretty good way to go from coastal village to coastal village, by the way. It's really helpful when you don't have promotions on the scout as well. So these dudes do expert hemp planter. That's pretty good because we do need to do hemp from these locations right here. Those 2 locations might alone supply all the hemp that we need, so we could do tobacco on the other grasslands. Alright, hopefully we have enough money to buy the land from the crow right here. 1,004 gold, I accept. And this colony, what shall we name you? I think we call you the Rusty Clam. And in the Rusty Clam, what do we want to build? I think we're going to need to get a lot of food from the ocean if possible. Let's pick a village hall just for the moment, and then let's analyze the surrounding terrain. So a good amount of our food is going to come from hunting turkeys, so that's something to consider. We're not going to get a ton of food from really any of these locations. We do have limestone here though, so that's a lot of stone for us to mine. That's nice. But yeah, what little food that we can access here is going to come from the ocean. So we might want to go ahead and start with a pier and use those naturally generated hammers to make progress towards that. And let's go ahead, let's wipe away that little label there. And this dude shall start walking towards the northwest. So this wolf over here looks pretty close to this overseer, right? No, it's actually 5 turns to get over there. It makes roads really, really important, even more so than usual. There just so happens to be a seasoned scout training village not too far away from where I suspect the Portuguese live. How nice for them. So we have this quest here where we have a group of eager young adventurers. We could get a seasoned scout for 500 gold, a hardy pioneer for 500 gold, or a free colonist. A hardy pioneer would be a wonderful choice, however, I do love seasoned scouts for money. Most quests probably do 500 gold, right? I was watching Hawkins playthrough and he had 1000 gold. So 500 gold is what we should probably keep on hand at any one particular time. Actually, really it should be like 1500 for the elders. I find it hard to refuse another seasoned scout, I'm gonna be honest, so I'll take that. And we have another event where we could get a master train oil cooker. That's gonna cost us 500 gold for a dude who is not gonna be useful for a long time. No thank you. So this village of the Tarascans has been inspected already, so we should go west from here. Exploring exactly how set up they are is not that valuable to us. With the stable done in Red Fox, I now have to ask, what comes after? It's probably not. I don't think I want to do the wagon train. I want to grow the horses first and then do the wagon train. We're going to do that here pretty soon. I think we're doing pretty much everything here that I want us to do. I would like to get a corn chamber though. We grow in 5 turns. Let's get that corn chamber built. We'll just have to bring some more tools from Europe, which we're going to have to do anyway probably. And I really love the feeling of like you start off importing things and then eventually you become the exporter, or you at least become self-sufficient. The crown wants 699 gold. I guess you'll have your money, sir. Even though we have +8 relationship, I guess it doesn't matter to you. We can ask for leftovers from the royal breakfast. Wonderful. Now there is an unfortunate side effect of the new movement system that I'm not sure if they intended this. Whenever you move a unit onto a ship that takes 1 movement point, the unit still has movement points left over to make use of. Like I just moved the seasoned scout onto the ship because I accidentally made him get off the ship, and he has 2 movement points left out of 3. So unsure about that. But hey, whatever, it lets us find out that these dudes can teach us expert tobacco planting. Wonderful, we really needed that. And they just want cloth right now, which is interesting. And we get a native warrior. You know what, I guess this, oh, we have room on the ship. Awesome. I thought we had a caravel for a moment. Alright, this merchantman is going to bring the seasoned scout and all the troops back home. And then the seasoned scout is going to go clear out the stuff towards the southwest right here, the main settlement. Hey, I found a proper lost missionary. Question is, what do I do with him now? For him to get home, it would take 44 turns of walking. I think we settle for an intermediate goal of making it down to Isanti right here, and then setting up a mission here. I'm really cool. I'm not really cool, but I'm really happy to see that there's 9 population in Isanti. That's really good. I like seeing like high population native villages. Alright, let's make some money. 3,524 gold. We can buy some really good stuff for that. And we did not get asked for money. Let's see if we can get some more this turn. If I kill this native brave with my buccaneer, he'll probably just get attacked outside the village most likely. If I had roads, I could hop back inside. That's true. But there's a lot of natives wandering around right here. If I build a mission or a monastery, let's go find the actual improvement. I mentioned this earlier, but if I build a monastery and I employ it, then we can start getting gold from natives that pass by. This is under monasteries, under I think something like game concepts. We can get gold from natives that pass by, and they can also join us as converted natives. And braves planning to raid nearby towns might be appeased, deciding not to raid. Building one right here would make a lot of sense. They do seem to wander in this area. Ooh, and Rusty Clam produces cocoa leaves. I'm very happy about that. That actually has a domestic market. So Red Fox probably... Do they have the market yet? Yeah, you'll have the market. There's just not quite yet a demand for cocoa leaves, but it'll exist. It'll be there one day. Oh my goodness, there's a humpback whale blocking me from getting around this storm. And I cannot attack with a merchantman. Guess I'll try to go around it. And there we go. Interesting little pathing event. Alright, so we probably have about 3,000, not 3,000, but 2,000